Hello, everybody. Welcome back to today's episode of Roll20 Presents Pathfinder Playtest. This encounter did not go at all the way I expected it to, which is great. I mean, we got to do the jumping test, which I believe was the intent of the beginning of the adventure. We're doing terrain in this one. And so this was a cross the river challenge. We got to see someone fall in the river, get across. But now you're best friends with some gnolls. And Plunderfist, do you just spend the whole night like skulking outside the like over here 40 feet away in the grass?
Yeah, I think like a few times I go a bit closer, like feeling left out. Then I realized that actually gnolls are gross and I don't want to
I don't even want to be their friend anyway.
wasting the time. And they'll realize that they want to camp with me instead because I'm cool when they're not, but then I don't. I'll just have my whole 4-person tent to myself.
Okay, all right. Little hard to stealthily erect a 4-person tent 40 feet away from people, but it gets dark eventually, so.
Yeah, I'll move away eventually to put it up.
Okay. All right. So yeah, do you have their ear, right? They're friendly. Bro, did you want to try to push them over to helpful, and then I can tell you like they'll give up some useful information.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make that roll. Let's see if you can make another impression. Nice. There you go. Okay. So through your assistance in teaching them how to fish and teaching them about cooking food, and really like this may well be for Gnoll kind it's that moment from the beginning of 2001, right, where the monkey is like smashing things with the bone. Like this is it. You've started a brand new thread of Gnoll civilization. You guys are the monolith. You did it. So let's see what they know that they could tell you. How much do you share about what you're up to? Like, do you tell them why you're here?
So I definitely was planning to be like, so how long have you lived on this mountain? And if it blew up, what would you do?
Yeah, okay. Well, they tell you, no, not living. No, only visiting. We are from points. Many days travel. We are waiting here, and points at the river, for the hunting party to return, and they look up towards the mountain.
Oh, okay. Do you know when they're going to be back?
The other Gnoll answers, should have been already. Zakfa and hunters go up into mountain for some purpose. We are made to wait.
How long have you been waiting?
They both shrug.
Yeah. I'm gonna translate this for my
Yeah, I just assume that you're
friend.
translating. Okay.
And then I tell Lydia, and I'm also like use it as an excuse to talk to Bard. Should we tell them like a number of likely days to maybe wait and then get out of here in case things go bad? What do you think?
I mean, do we have a reason not to tell them?
I don't want to freak them out super hard. Or also like push them forward so that they'd get hurt.
They seem like the surviving sort. They're probably okay.
I mean, realistically, we could probably just tell them that the mountain was going to explode of its own volition, and I think they'd leave. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So you turn back to the
back to Noel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in a couple of days the mountain's gonna explode.
And then it looks at you and it's like, what does mean?
Yeah, a big, like a huge fire. Like the mountain's gonna just turn into fire.
And he laughs, and he's like, ha! Mountain of fire. I am not afraid of fire. Am Knoll warrior, not Knoll coward.
Well, but it's the sort of fire that just kills everything, though.
Have you seen when sometimes a fire will get to a thing and then the thing goes boom? Of course, I'm little.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he looks and says, but mountain all the way over there.
Oh, so yeah. So you know how big the mountain is? That's how big all of the fire and everything is.
So he looks at the mountain and he goes like this.
Yeah.
And then he looks at you and he says, mountain small. Fire here already bigger. And like looks at the fire and is like, see? Look how big it is.
Okay.
I just like take his hand
Uh-huh.
and look at the tent because there's a tent nearby us. And I'm like, see now. And then I just
he
walk
nods and
closer. I just like walk him closer to the tent to show that the tent is actually bigger.
Yeah, and he says to you, he says, yes. Knoll am close to tent. Tent large. Knoll far away. Tent small.
Tent and the tent is always the same size.
So he walks you back away from it and he points and he says, tent small. And he walks all the way back over and he goes, tent big.
And no, it's okay. When the mountain explodes, it's little rocks. And I just like pick up a rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when rock hits you, it gets bigger when it comes to you, right?
And you could see him like
So-
nodding and scratching his muzzle like, okay.
So
I'm with you
imagine-
so far.
all of these rocks are going to come closer to you at the same time. 'Cause
Oh, you are not saying mountain chase knolls and get large to crush and destroy. Oh, no, it's bad time.
Yeah. You need to. Yeah. So you need to keep the mountain. Right now it's here, right? You need to make it here. If you make it there, then it can't hurt you.
And he nods and he says, but what of rest of pack? Zakfa still up and points. Zakfa small now.
Yeah. So the mountain's going to explode in time.
Yeah, right.
So I think that means that you have time.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Uh,
Amount of time here. Yeah, got it.
mountain time.
So you can wait that long for Zakfa, but if Zakfa doesn't return before then, you have to leave or you'll die.
And you can see him thinking, and he says, if Zakfa small on mountain large for small Zakfa, so if explode, Zakfa die, then tribe have no leader. Only Knowles left. He points at the two of them, then says, I am leader of tribe. And the other one looks up, and he's like got this fish in his hand. And he's like, what is it you say? And the other one says, if Zakfa die, I am in charge. Obviously, I'm smartest and strongest, most powerful, also best friend of Mr. Snips. And Mr. Snips gives a little like, hello. And the other Knoll snarls at him, and he says, as if you are Mr. Snips like me best. And he like shoves the fish into your hands, like, hold my fish.
Okay. Oh my.
And he starts walking over like angrily towards the other Knoll.
Okay, stop.
And as he's getting closer, the other knoll next to you, Parzel says to him threateningly, "Don't you get bigger at me. Don't you do it."
Okay, I like walk in between the two of them, even though I'm tiny. And I'm like, no.
How big do they think they are?
Right? Like they're very confused about this.
I don't know.
Hold your hands up to your face.
far away
Hands
am
are huge.
I
Mountain
don't
small.
know how
Hands
far
huge.
away I am. Did they get bigger? I'm not sure.
This is why their oracles are all like one-eyed gnolls, because they're like all things same size.
Okay, so we need to focus. Need to pay attention to one thing.
Okay, so they're
mountain.
like snarling and like barking at each other, and you can see
And
that this could very easily turn into a fight between them if you don't do something to get their attention.
Can I do another diplomacy?
I think you need to make do something to get their attention first,
Wait,
because
they've
they've forgotten about you. You're all far
There's some
away,
sort
down by
of
their knees.
Performer thing. What
Mhm.
is it?
Have carouser. I don't know if that'll be helpful.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, let's get drunk. I mean, Lydia, that
I don't
might
think
help.
I don't think I took actually any of the gnome performer stuff. It
Okay,
might be.
well, so this is a good opportunity. So Lydia, you've seen 100 bar fights in your day, right? Like, you know what it looks like when two tough guys are like, I'm the toughest, no, I'm the toughest, and then they fight, and you know how to break that shit up. What are you gonna do? Because you can see Berard's just gonna get thrashed on if you get stuck between these two gnolls.
I could mind link them.
What was the feat?
You
Oh,
could.
it only helps me gather information. It's
Yeah,
not
but like
Oh.
not just that feat, but like you have this personal experience. It's some fictional positioning here for breaking up fights.
Of course. I'm not like, I see them sort of like squaring up, and I go, "Hey, you both better calm down, or I'm gonna have to get involved as well. Nobody wants that."
You both better calm down, or I'm gonna have to get involved as well.
Right, so you shout in common, and then Parzel barks and snarls.
Won't teach you
Hi,
anything else.
anything else?
I like it. Okay.
Intimidation check, I guess.
I was gonna say, what's the equivalent of conspicuous?
Coerce.
Yeah.
That is a threat, either veiled or overt. You attempt to intimidate a creature into
I'm
doing
actually
what you-
untrained in intimidation.
That's
so
perfect. It's even better.
using Not very well.
Okay. So make an intimidation check.
6.
Okay. So the gnoll, one of the gnolls turns around and he barks at you, and he says, "Quiet, tiny dwarf," and turns.
It becomes unfriendly, Adam.
Yeah, turns around, and Berard, one of the gnolls, like tries to shove you out of the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I do not have any intimidation.
Mm-hmm. Do you just let yourself get pushed out of the way?
Oh, is there like a dodge mechanic? Is there a-
Well, I mean, you can oppose. Yeah, you could try to like get out of the way. He just wants to like just move you so that he can get at his friend.
Okay, I want to oh gracious. Okay, how do I want to do this? I need to look up. I can't. Where is it?
What do you want to do?
I'm trying to see if I have essentially magic that will flash. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I do want to like create something that will capture attention. And the only other thing that I can think of off the top of my head is my ghostly weapon, which I think realms in intimidation and is not something I'd be great at.
Yeah, totally. It would
so-
appear, and they would be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then you wouldn't be
Right.
able to intimidate them. 'cause
And
you
then
don't
I'd
know
have to
them.
threaten them, which is not what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna try to push you either way. So it's an athletics check. What's your fortitude? What's 10 plus your fortitude bonus?
10 plus my fortitude bonus. Sorry, there
okay.
it is. 17.
Okay. All right, you resist being shoved. So this in and of itself might be enough, depending on how you react. So the knoll to the south, this knoll here, he reaches out and puts a big dirty paw on you and tries to shove you out of the way. Like, oh, you're small. Get out of here so I can like deal with this asshole. What do? You don't get
So
shoved.
I just like raise my hand up and just like put it on his chest. I'm like, no.
And he stops and he looks at you. Make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. So he looks down at you and he tries to push you again and you don't move. And then he looks at his hand and he's like, but hand's so huge. And gnome so small. How? And the other one is like, wait, what? And he tries to shove you, just to push you.
No.
Oh my god, he critically fails. So neither of them can move you, and I think they both take a step back in like awe, where they're just like, gnome cannot be pushed, and they're both just totally startled. They're like, what? You're like a stone statue, or like you must be incredibly heavy, and they're totally bamboozled at their inability to shove you around because you're so small.
You will pay me attention.
And they nod and they look and I think the knoll that tried to push you last, you hear the sound of him drawing. Let's see what weapons they have. You hear the sound of him drawing. Oh, he has a battle axe. So he like takes out his battle axe, and then he like lays it down at your feet and puts his head down. And the other one does the same. Like he kneels in front of you. And the two of them are making kind of obsequious like whining noises.
Pick up your weapons.
And they look at each other and they pick them up and they like stand up, like just looking at you like waiting.
It's like I'm the freaking leader of the Knolls. Okay. First, you're going to apologize to Parcel.
And the
Sorry
knoll you say that looks at you, Parcel, and is like, what apologies.
Say
Oh, this one's-
sorry.
Oh, it's
to
so
Parcel.
complicated. Oh. I guess it's not that hard.
So the knoll hears you say that, Bernard, and there's no word for sorry in knoll, so you have to say that in common. And so again, he just goes, sorry.
Thanks.
And he nods and looks at you like, I'm a good boy, I did it.
Yeah. Now listen.
And they like both sit down.
Yep. Parcel, you were saying.
Oh, where were we? Oh gosh, yeah, just
They need to leave. They need to make the mountains smaller.
they need to make the mountains smaller to save the group. Everyone get that? That we save the pack by making the mountain smaller on X time.
Yeah, and they're nodding like they understand. Yep.
Okay, great. Now moving on. Have you seen other people who aren't gnolls?
One of the gnolls looks at the meat basket just briefly, and then looks back at you like,
cool. I'm gonna search around then to see if there are like signifiers of like armor or anything.
yeah. I mean, do you want to look in the tents? Or,
Yeah, that
okay.
would be really great.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you just walk over to this tent and you like open it, you look inside, and yeah, there's like a big flat rock with a bunch of scratches in it and bloodstains all over it. And then there's a pile of like you see a boot and some gloves and like a backpack. They're all covered in blood.
Cool.
Yeah, like a broken sword.
Is there signs that are that the Night Heralds are these people, or are these other people who are?
You
not
feel like the Night Heralds could probably take these nerds.
Okay, so these are people who aren't the Night Heralds.
Yeah.
Dang.
Mhm.
I come out of the tent looking all huffy.
Mhm.
I got nothing, Bard. All up to you.
Okay. Mm. Let's see. I'm trying to, do you think there would have been anything in the tent that they would use to like signify to the pack? Are there items they carry? Or I guess I could ask them. Um, how do members of your pack how do you know each other? Do you carry an item? Do you have a thing you say to other members? How do you know other gnolls are safe?
And they look at each other trying to like figure out what you're asking, and then one of them kind of like nods and he understands what it is you're getting at, and he's like, oh, all of tribes smell same. And he shrugs.
Okay. So I think, do I have, let's see. So I have the sharp nose, right? So I know what that smell is at this point.
I think, yeah, you'd be able to differentiate one stinky gnoll from another based on their particular musk. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you have that ability.
Is there, oh gracious, I'm trying to think. They're wearing armor?
Yep. Yeah, they have you can see on them, like taking a look at one, they have leather armor, they have short bows and arrows, they have their battle axes.
Okay. Do they have, I'm looking for something like a glove or a hat or something that like is minor, because what I want to do is I want to take it with us so that we can signify if we meet other members of their pack that,
Oh, yeah. Sure.
yeah, that we ran into them, and that
yeah, one of them has like a kind of handkerchief like tied around his neck.
okay, so
It's filthy, but that's probably better in this case.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me it's around your neck.
And he looks at you and he says, what trade me for it?
We're going up. We're going to the mountain. So if we see your pack members, we can tell them that we found you and to go find you. So
But
we're not trading.
But
Trying to
long ears say big mountain become rocks for crushing. Well, why go there?
You'll leave that to us.
And he like kind of whimpers, like I don't wanna, but he does. He like reaches up and like pulls off this filthy rag and hands it to you.
Good. Okay. God. And now I can smell it even more, and it's not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it just smells like wet dog, and yeah, it's not great. But it's what you want. You need a pungent object.
Yeah. Okay. So
I go, oh, and go over to the tents and detect magic on all the stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you wanna see if there's any loot in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look. I think if you dig around and you get your detect magic on, so you don't have to dig too much. Yeah, you find one of the backpacks. And in it, in the backpack, you find 2 minor healing potions.
Yeah.
You find a set of expert quality thieves' tools. And you find 300 silver pieces.
Heck yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You're just gonna steal their stuff?
It's like, did you? Okay, so we found all the stuff.
Parzel's inside rummaging around.
Oh, okay. So we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Or I don't know yet.
Yep.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I'll come out with the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't just put it in my bag. I'll like come out with it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And you come out with this bag, this partially like cut leather backpack, and one of the gnolls is like, looks at you kind of quizzically, and the other one says, can't eat. He's too old.
Okay.
Fresh skin, good to eat. Old
Okay.
skin made into thing, bad for eat.
Yeah. Well, take it then. And I look at Bard like, yeah.
All right. this we could trade you for. So I'll take like, let me check my equipment.
What have I got for these goofs?
Let's see, I don't carry a whole lot because I am tiny. Let's see, I've got the religious text is not going to help them. I'll tell you what.
I mean,
okay. So I've got winter clothing. That's part of my gear. So I think it would be reasonable to think that there's like a scarf with that, like a long scarf.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna take that and cut it in half.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give half to each of the gnolls. Like, we have your scarf, and that will let them know that that we were with you, and you can have these to let the gnolls know that you were with us.
And they look at it and like smell it, and they're kind of like, one of them ties it around his wrist, and the other one ties it around his neck, and they nod. And they're kind of looking at each other like, yeah, this looks good. And then Mr. Snips kind of like looks up at you, and he's just like holding his little claws together. And he's like, what? No gift for Mr. Snips?
I'm gonna grab hold on, let me go through my I have a little no, I'm gonna need those daggers.
Oh my god. What did you do? We found a giant scorpion. What did you give him? A knife?
Just a knife.
He's got a knife in one of his claws.
On his claws. Here you go. I think we've got a bunch of cooking tools. We have like a little I'm gonna find something to like wrap around it, but not in a way that would prevent it from, saving its own life. I want to like put an oven mitt on its claw. That would not be useful. Does somebody else have another scarf or a wrap of some
What do we need it for?
I need so we should also give the scorpion a gift too.
Oh, what's the scorpion like?
Stay out of this one.
Do you have like another a wrap of some kind?
This is the trouble of the holiday season. There's always somebody that's
right?
impossible to buy gifts
time
for.
Of the year.
And you're like, www.giftsforgiantscorpions.com. We got you covered for that giant scorpion in your life. Get him a subscription to Audible or something. I don't know.
What's the scorpion's personality?
Yeah. It's fairly formal.
Oh,
fairly cultured scorpion.
I have just the thing. I go through my pack. I have a feather that I bought. I don't know why I bought a feather, but I bought a feather.
All right, sure.
I pull out a beautifully plumed feather and hand it to you.
Okay.
I think this is probably perfect. And so I like go over to the scorpion, and like I'm guessing there's like some sap or something that I could use that's kind of like sticky.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, or you could like just like if you want to stick it to him, that he's got like carapace, right? Chitin. So you just
jam in there.
Yeah, you just like tuck it under part of the shell.
That's rude, Dave. Be gentle. Like here. There we go.
Okay, so now he has a big beautiful feather sticking out of the top of his head as if he were wearing a cap. And he looks up at you and he says, that's better. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Now, thank you for helping me across the river.
Yes, anytime.
Okay, so we're going to go that way, which is towards the mountain.
And Mr. Snips looks up and he says, yes, best to make it quick. I hear there's an eruption imminent. I'm going to take these two fellows and we're going to try and head west. Greener pastures, don't you know?
Yeah, that would be good.
Very good. Well, best of luck to you and your friends.
Yes, you as well. I also convey that information from the scorpion to the gnolls. I'm just like, the Mr. Snips knows where he's going. You can follow him.
And they look at each other and they chuckle like it was a joke. And the gnolls get up and they're like, was good for meeting you and learning to make fish from the river and put fire on meat. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us stay with you and keep yourself safe.
Yeah, and I imagine this is like the next morning, right? So they're packing up, and somewhere 40 feet away, Plunderfist lurks, staring angrily at everyone in their friendship. And then you part ways with your gnoll friends, and you continue across the. You're on the other side of the river now, so you continue up into the mountains.
Before we super move on from the morning,
Totally. Yeah.
Would you guys like me to sub out any of my spells? So what I had going was magic missile, gust of wind, sleep, invisibility, glitter dust, flaming sphere, and then my cantrips. We haven't been running into.
Said fast.
Oh, okay. Magic missile, gust of wind, sleep, invisibility, glitter dust, and flaming sphere.
Those sound like fun spells.
Yeah, they sound good.
I don't know what they will do off by heart yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so gust of wind, I'd like to use at some point, so I'm going to keep that for now because it makes like a line that makes it difficult, that knocks people over and makes it difficult for them to attack us, depending, like, situationally, it seems quite useful. And I'd like to give sleep a go. Magic missile is always useful, so those are going to stay. But invisibility and glitter dust are kind of like about, they're about a very specific thing. Glitter dust makes other people not invisible. Invisibility makes you guys invisible. And we've seen what a flaming sphere does. So if we wanted to change any of those three, I'm comfortable with it. Or we can leave it as it is.
They seem good.
Cool.
I'd
Yeah,
love
seems
to be
fine.
invisible. I could sneak attack then.
Yep.
One of these days I will sneak attack.
Okay. We'll make sure this goes off, and then we will swap it out after that. After they.
Perfect.
All right. And do you want to change? Do you want to change your? You have an opportunity to change your skill, right?
Oh yeah. Well, let's see. Acrobatics are kind of athletics. Diplomacy. No, that's never gonna. Medicine. Blah blah blah. It really feels like the terrain's been too like I'm already trained in survival, and I fell in the river, so I'm unfortunately just gonna have to keep athletics. I'd love to do something else, but I think it has to be that for the moment, at least until we're in the dungeon, right? Because it's just
Do
that.
you not have the spell Touch of Idiocy prepped? 'Cause that's incredible.
No.
Oh, that's actually really good. No, don't worry about it.
There's a spell called Touch of Idiocy that just turns someone into a total dummy.
It gives them stupefied, which
Nice.
is one of the very few ways I've seen of disrupting spellcasting.
Oh, that's so
Oh.
cool.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, it's just looking at things. Please ignore.
No worries. So I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. And yes, as chat pointed out, the reason, Parzel, and maybe this occurs to you later, the reason that you had that feather is that it was the like little minor magic item, the feather that turned into a ladder.
Oh, that's right.
So at some point later, a ladder is going to erupt out of the head of the scorpion. Oh my! How did I get up here? Surprise! It's a ladder.
Oh no!
Whoops.
And two gnolls at the edge of a 20-foot crevasse, like, damn, how are we ever going to cross this? Can't jump far enough.
Oh, don't you know, chaps?
Yeah. Never fear, my friends. I've got the solution right here. Blam! Fantastic. I love it. All right. So continuing up into the mountains, you let's see. You travel through several miles of very difficult terrain. This place gets real fast. There is treacherous cliffs, steep inclines, and what looks to be a great deal of mountainous climbing ahead of you. You stand at the bottom of a bunch of, like, not quite cliffs, but pretty damn close. And there may be a number of ways ahead. If somebody would like to make a survival check, you can kind of help chart the course forward. The sky, as you get closer and closer to this area, the sky gets darker and darker, and you can feel a cold wind blowing down from the mountain. It's almost certain to rain before night falls.
Now, if I think I was rolling our survival checks before, was that?
I think you were, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
you actually have
anybody
a
can
higher
do it.
number than I do.
Yeah, I've got an 8 in
Yeah,
survival.
are you gonna do it and someone gonna aid you?
Yeah, that's I can help.
Okay.
Okay.
But if you help me, can you still forage?
Forage is separate from like travel survival check. It's
Okay.
its own thing.
What skill were you using for forage, by the way?
Survival.
Oh, is it a feat? Like
Yes.
It's a
specific
feat,
for
yeah.
foraging? Okay.
So
cool.
forager is a skill feat. There it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm just curious where everything comes from.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's really cool. I didn't realize that you could do that.
Yeah. That's how I get that food.
Well, I mean the idea that you can like click it and then share all the additional information about how it works.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really useful. Okay.
So you're gonna roll survival for the aid. And
All right. And then what?
yeah.
How does the aid work?
So
What
I
do you
have
do?
to roll it and pass, and then you get a bonus, right? That's
Yeah, what's the DC going to be? Is it?
It is a DC 17 survival check.
There you go,
Slightly
26.
medium and hard.
Well, yeah,
That's a crit.
that's very helpful.
Do you double aid? Can you double aid?
I don't
If you
know.
crit on an aid, I don't know. That's a great question.
Can you double-
It might be an additional
Yes.
bonus.
You grant your ally plus 4 circumstance bonus to the triggering skill check.
Sick. You're so helpful.
I appreciate that.
a very useful dwarf.
And I needed it.
Okay. So 4, 5, 6. You are one short, unfortunately. So this takes it takes 4 hours. Now you can have, while this is happening, somebody else can make a check as well. So like team 2, if Plunderfist and Parzel want to do the same thing, you can also check. But you spend 4 hours searching, scouting the landscape for like a safe path up the mountains.
Does it mention anywhere being able to help with a climbing kit, or is that for checks later?
That would be for like climbing. This is scouting out a place to climb.
Okay.
So Parzel is not particularly helpful. So Plunderfist, you're on your own. It's all up luck for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Turns out we're adding
Wow,
something to
nat 20.
jumping, punching, sneaking, some other stuff, looking at rocks.
So Plunderfist, you find, so the 4 hours passes. You all sort of search and slowly move your way through this area, looking for some way forward. And I think that Plunderfist, you spot what looks to you like a path that alternates between short cliffs, shallow inclines, and walkable flatter sections. An easy pathway that will allow you to carry on.
I tell you where I learned this skill.
Yeah.
Playing open world RPGs, when you see a mountain and you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
I bet I could walk up that if I just keep going diagonally, like
Mhm.
at the edges where they've made the terrain mesh, just like glitching up walls.
Yeah, exactly. You just Skyrim horse your way up, and
Exactly.
no problem. Yeah, you're good.
Of course.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so partway up the mountain, as you continue trying to outpace the coming storm, about a third of the way up towards the mountain, you come across the site of a battle. Strewn across the rocky ground are the corpses of a half dozen gnolls, their bodies riddled with large bony quills, and then they seem to be partly eaten. Some of them are missing limbs, a few of them are missing their heads, etc.
Perception.
Yeah, you want to like take a look around? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a
Something.
yeah. Let's see.
Sorry,
Perception.
carry
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular? Do you have questions about the scene?
So I guess my first priority is to try and figure out if there are any people still nearby, and I think my sharp nose can help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Let me make sure. I'm having trouble. Maybe it's hyphenated sharp nose.
Oh, you like if you're like your gnome
Yeah, it's a gnome
skill? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see where it is in here. It's in the update. Here you go. Sharp-nosed gnome. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to sense an unseen creature, typically within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think primarily I'm trying to make sure if there's anybody in the area.
So these gnolls, these gnoll corpses, they smell like they are about 2 days old. They've been out here a little while. And it doesn't seem to be any sign of, like, it looks like whatever killed them ate its fill and then left. This wasn't like
this wasn't organized. Can I then is the smell from them the same as the smell from the gnolls we encountered?
these are definitely
the
of the same
party.
same ilk. Yeah, they're from the same litter as those.
R.I.P.
those ones.
Zarkog.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really tell if this was all of them or not, but this definitely was a significant chunk of them. There's a bunch of them here. Yeah, and they've got these like bony, like kind of cartilaginous like spikes that they seem to have been killed by.
That's like a very specific cause of death.
Mhm.
My Dave's head, I think, recognizes these from somewhere.
Yeah, if you want to make a nature check, you could try to recognize them.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Blunderfist isn't very good at it, but he'll try.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, Blunderfist, you don't know. You look at them and you're just like, those look like spikes. They're not made out of metal or wood, but you can't tell anything about them, Blunderfist. But Bird, if you wanna make that check too. Okay, yeah, Bird. So the smell, right? Because you smell the creature that did this on top of recognizing the quills. Now they're not like a porcupine's quills. They don't look defensive, right? They're not like long and thin.
Yeah, they're like shooted.
They're short, and yeah, they have like tissue at the end of them where it looks like they were in the body and then sprung out. You recognize them as the quills of a manticore.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I remember them from. The upside down
Oh,
ziggurat.
right.
Yeah.
Manticores.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You mentioned fighting them in an
take
upside down pyramid.
Can I take some and can I put them on my other fist? So I've got the proboscis on one and like manticore quills on the other one.
I mean, you could take some, and it would require crafting like a manticore punching glove.
Yes.
But yeah, so Brad, manticore, they are the tail spikes of a manticore. They're flung at great force to kill targets from a distance. And I'm not sure if they're poisoned or not. Let me
Yeah,
look.
since they're probably poison, if we're making stuff out of them, does that make our craft check very scary?
Let's see. Manticore spikes do not appear to be poisonous. Yeah, they're not, or venomous. I mean, if you eat them, they probably wouldn't be any good. But
Crafting is like super long term.
so you know that, Brad. But you could collect some Plunderfist if you wanted.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, put them
we,
into my Wolverine claws.
we just like look at him and was like, it looks like or they had a manticore on their hands. We may have to deal with one as well. It looks like if the manticore fought them, the manticore probably won.
Well, yeah, because it ain't dead here, is it?
Yeah, you look
Oh,
around, you don't see
but
it.
Something
Yeah.
to be aware of is that it may not be very far.
Exactly. So everybody keep a close eye.
I'd say try and sneak, but we're like climbing a mountain. It's a bit tricky, isn't it? For you. Come on, we're only like partway up. We haven't even got the cow yet.
You want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna detect magic before we leave. Just
Okay.
gonna do the thing.
Always be detecting.
Yeah, totally. Nope, you don't spot any magic around.
Cool. Cool. Just thinking about manticores, like, no, they're too smart to. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that we could practically do other than sneak. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to make a parcel, you'd like to make a roll, like an arcane roll or a nature roll or something
Sure.
to like see what you know about manticores.
Yeah, I can do. Both of those are good. So
Yeah,
I'll since we've already done a nature, I'll do an arcana.
sure. 23, nice. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, manticores are, as you said, they're at least human smartness. They're very strong. They have wings. They can fly. They're big, flying. They have the body of a lion, bat wings, giant bat wings, and a big spiked tail. And then they have the head and face of an old man. Big sharp teeth. They're carnivores. At one point, I mean, I guess. So I don't personally know this, but we could have a long conversation, I'm sure, about the breeding habits of manticores. Like, do they have sexual dimorphism? Like, do manticores reproduce naturally? They'd have to, right? Because like wild men. In which case, do they all look like old men? Like, how do we determine the? Anyway, manticore.
I have top cell here. We can find out.
Right? Like, manticore breeding habits. So they have, the head and face of an old man, and they're cruel and prone to violence, dangerous beasts that were created by a mad wizard in time immemorial. So yeah, this hunting was as much for food as it was for sport.
Are they not venomous or poisonous? Well,
They are
venomous.
not. They
Okay.
are not venomous.
Fascinating.
Creatures. I don't think anyone's. Maybe you don't know if anyone's ever eaten a manticore. Probably someone has. People
Yeah.
will eat anything. But yeah,
Verdict is still out on poison.
that's right. Yeah, we're not sure.
Could I make a survival check to check if the quills are poisonous?
They're not. I can definitely tell you that
Okay.
manticore did not poison these guys. They were murdered by stabbing and yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love that picture of a manticore. It's so stupid. I love it. Cool. Okay. So that's a manticore. That is what you can expect. So what do you do when you continue? Do you like go slower and make a point of like searching for
I wanna
signs
keep
of
my eyes
danger
out
or
for any possible manticores.
Okay. Sure.
If that's possible.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Yeah. While it would be like nice to try and stay kind of hidden, I figure like manticores can fly.
Mhm.
So if we're climbing up like a sheer wall, it's just not really gonna work out, is it? So
Yeah.
I think it's more to go quickly would be my
Right.
preference personally.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Like stay out because it's like a very vulnerable position, and if one's up there, it just sits there and shoots spikes, and I guess sling rocks at it. It doesn't feel very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
It's
that.
scary.
I mean, but ideally, it doesn't attack what it doesn't see, right? I mean, like if we're just like going up and making a bunch of noise or whatever, if it's going to see us anyway, we're certainly going to make sure it sees us if we're just like scaling up a rock face as fast as we can.
Yeah, I think the difference between being stealthy and not stealthy on a cliff face is more about noise, and it's always going to be noisy because like rocks are going to fall.
Mhm.
It's going to be like big clattering and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it would be challenging and slow, but you could certainly try if you wanted to.
I'd rather just get it with honesty.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you press on, and as promised, the air turns dark and damp. a peal of thunder rolls across the clouds, heralding the beginning of a storm. Rain begins to fall. And as you wind your way through an area of now kind of slick stone, the mud kind of on the surface is being washed away. And as you move through it, you have but the briefest sense of something being wrong before the expected manticore attack happens. There's this feeling of like, what is somebody? Can you hear that? And then, from above,
I wonder what that could be. Oh shit, manticore!
a shriek somewhere between a lion's roar and the shout of an old man, and a manticore descends upon you from above. Now the manticore is going to roll its initiative with stealth. You all roll your initiative with perception, and we'll begin. But before we do that, I would just like to show you. Look how cute this manticore is.
Oh, it's so cute. Also, I read the Top Cell article, so I can tell you now, that they're bred. So
Okay.
they're
There you go. Perfect.
yeah, and also that they have voices like trumpets.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
We got it. So cute. Okay. All right. So this spiky, lion-bodied, bat-winged, angry old man-faced creature is flying down towards you. And it begins its assault about 40 feet away from you, diagonally, like up. It knows when to spring the attack. And then your initiative will determine whether you get to go before or after it does its thing. So let me see what its initiative is. +7, I think. Oh, great. Good. Nope. Good. You were all ready for it. So I'll add a turn for the Manticore. Manticore got an 8.
Except me.
Except Plunderfist. Poor Plunderfist. Okay.
Is there a difference between rolling perception, like just clicking perception, and clicking initiative where it says perception?
Yes. One will have the macro that does at selected token add _ initiative.
Okay.
Whatever.
I don't know if it's selecting my token. Hang on.
Yeah, I messed up twice. So you have to click on your token and then click the thing.
Right. Yeah, because the first one that I rolled where I just clicked perception,
I
think.
just had the wrong thing selected.
Yeah, it's
on
okay.
my-
So Parzel got a. What was your first initiative check? 19. Okay, great. So, Berard,
And I think mine was 13.
your original was a 13.
Because I just clicked perception instead of initiative.
Okay, so Parzel, actually, that's pretty great. So Parzel, you're first. Parzel, Berard, and Lydia will get to go, and you spot the creature, the shadowy form, like coming flying down towards you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast Gust of Wind at it.
Okay,
I'm
nice.
so excited because Gust of Wind, like
So he's
normally,
flying down, and you're just like, wham! This huge gust of wind flies.
It
Cool.
normally has like some applicability,
Yeah.
but when things are flying, it knocks them down.
Nice. Team Manticore blasting off again.
Let's see. So, a violent wind issues forth from your outstretched palm, blowing from the point where you are. It goes in a line,
Okay.
a 60-foot line.
Perfect. You're well within range.
Then larger, smaller creatures in the area must attempt a fort save.
If it was flying, it is pushed 30 feet in the wind direction, knocked prone, and takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
So what happens if you're knocked prone while you're flying?
I think you fall.
Do you fall? Let me see. Prone.
I mean, it is assuming it goes 30 feet down and becomes prone, right? Like,
And that's why it takes the 2d6 damage. Yeah. Because
Right,
that's
that's
the
why.
question is, like, does it also take falling damage? That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Flying? Flight? If it was flying, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I assume that it's like it pushes you to the ground.
Yeah.
But then what if you're like 100 feet away?
the thing I'm reading says failure is knocked prone. If it was flying, it suffers the effect of critical failure, and
Yeah.
that's 30 feet in the direction, knocked prone, and takes 2d6.
Correct.
So it would have to be pushed, then knocked prone, because if it was flying,
yes.
it gets pushed 30. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. So it's pushed to the ground, because otherwise you can't be prone if you're in the air.
Ah, yep.
Okay. Perfect. So, all right. So he's knocked to the ground 30 feet away. I mean, he
I don't
goes
know
this
why
far.
it says
Hits
knocked.
this.
Well, it doesn't say that, but
Okay. So he goes like 30 feet. So he goes over here. He's got to make the save first. So, sorry. He was 40 feet from you. Okay. All right. So what is the saving throw?
So it's a fort. It's a fort, and it's so it's a level 1 spell. Then I have 4 from my, from int, and then nothing else goes onto that, right? It's just a 15.
Okay.
is proficiency plus your spellcasting modifier, so not level proficiency. What level?
Yeah,
proficiency?
that's why I was. Oh, that's proficiency plus spell. Hold on, it's
Mhm.
not spell level.
No. Unless
Now Dave's like, maybe it is. So determining the DC for a spell is, it's not. The question is just whether or not the level of the spell is relevant.
I thought it was.
Let's take a look. Because
I'm so
yeah,
sorry
that's
to
that's okay.
Make you look this up.
No.
I will write it down so we will know.
Let's see.
because I think it's supposed to be a universal system for working out DCs.
They say someone says 8+ casting modifier.
spell roll. Let's see. Spell roll modifier is equal to your proficiency modifier plus your key ability. So it's 10 plus whatever your spell roll modifier is. Yes. So the level of the spell doesn't matter. It's your
Okay.
proficiency bonus plus your intelligence.
So it's 14.
Right? Yeah. What's your intelligence bonus?
4.
Okay. But also your proficiency bonus, like for your base level, like whatever you get at 4th level. What is that at 4th?
No, it's your proficiency level based on the school of spell that the type of
Right.
spell you're using.
That's
and
right.
this is what are the 4 types?
Arcane.
Yeah, I think this is arcane.
Yes.
I don't
So-
know what this proficiency bonus thing is. Please.
It's like your attack bonus, except you have one in each of the 4 schools of magic.
So since I'm a generalist, I figure I'd probably have the same one across the board.
Yeah, this is an evocation spell.
You
And
get
then
your
it's depending
spells
on your
from-
generalism as a spellcaster.
You get your magical tradition. Yeah, you get your spells from arcane as a wizard. So it will just be your basic trained proficiency, which is just your level. Once you
Oh.
become an expert, it
That's what I
becomes
thought. Okay, so it's
when-
18.
It's 18.
Yes.
Got
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
right,
it's going to be. So it's cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's all that's relevant
Okay.
right now.
Cool. So that'll be
Thanks.
that's your default. So whenever we need that, it's 18. Okay.
Whenever we need that, it is now 18.
All right. So fort save DC 18. I got a 16, which is embarrassing that I had a plus 13 and he gets a 16. Okay. So 30 feet.
Yep.
So he gets blown backwards, crashes into the wall here. You want to roll 2d6 for damage?
Yes, I do.
And then he goes prone. Ow.
Does he go 30 feet and knock down, or is he not knocked down 30 feet?
The wind doesn't come from above, so I assume it pushes you
Yeah.
away, and you end up on the ground.
Womp womp.
All right,
Only
so
3.
takes 3 damage.
That's not a description, really.
Yeah, it's not a clear description for gust of wind. That's true. Okay, all right. So he's over here now. And that
the
that spell
thing
is 2 actions, right?
yeah,
Okay.
and the spell that keeps going. It says that larger small creatures that move into it later must attempt the save on entering. So
So does it just keep like blasting out of your hands, and you just like
Yeah.
whip it around? Like,
Well, that's a really good question.
Okay.
No, until the start of my next turn, 60-foot line. It doesn't say that I can move it around. I have
Okay,
no
so you
idea.
create a wind tunnel that lasts till the end of your next turn.
That's what it should be.
Perfect. Let's draw. Let's draw a
So-
line.
I know I tried to give the ruling on this previously, but I've double checked on the prone condition.
Okay, sure.
It says if you're climbing or flying when you would be knocked prone,
Perfect.
you fall instead. So you do fall, so you take falling damage
Okay.
as well.
All right. And how much damage
So
is
how far
falling?
up was it?
So it's you push and then fall. You actually pushed him into from where you are to where he is it's up. He's higher up now, so he only falls like 10 feet.
Okay.
So what is that? Another d6?
You take bludgeoning damage when you land equal to half the distance you fell. It's not d6.
Okay, so 5 damage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
So he takes another 5 as he plummets.
Wow. If you fall like,
But he's not
100
prone.
you just take 50 damage. That's really rough.
There must be a terminal velocity maximum. There almost always is.
Yes, 1,500 feet, 750 damage.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Got to kill a Sarac, push him out a window. Okay, so 60
A
feet.
really, really tall window.
60-foot line. Like that, I guess. Somewhere in that vicinity. So like
God, I love this game sometimes. It has rules specifically for what happens if you fall on a creature as well. Like,
yeah, totally. Or like getting shoved into a wall. Okay, so there you go. This is the gust of wind. It's like a torrent of wind is just like blasting in that direction from you, this wind tunnel. So now he's gonna have to go around it when it's his turn. Okay. What do you want to do? You have one more action, right? Because gust of
Yeah.
wind is 2.
Yes. I also I'm looking up to make sure that to see if this is an ability or if it's to see how long this takes. I have the ability to like get back one of my spells
Oh,
because
cool.
of my universalist power. So I'm checking out that universalist power. Let me figure out
Like
what
I'm gonna get back my gust of wind spell. I'm like gust this motherfucker again.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Stop gusting yourself. Stop gusting yourself.
It is called it's called Drain Arcane Focus. So let's see. Drain Arcane.
I do like that gravity is truly the greatest weapon in this game.
Drain Arcane Focus.
Gravity is a dangerous thing.
It really is.
just need to make the build now that's got like the longest range prone potential.
Yeah, right. How do you knock something
Another
prone from
character
the furthest?
levitates things.
Yeah. Because the gamble is that if you also fly,
Yeah,
because then you're up in the air. Yeah.
The trigger is the beginning of my turn for that. So
Okay.
for this, I'm just going to move in an advantageous position to do it again.
Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So here.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
All right. You're just bullying the Manticore by shoving him into a wall with the wind.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Brard, what are you gonna do?
So I'm guessing there's probably not a whole lot of discussion to be had with a manticore.
No, these guys are dicks.
Yeah.
So all of the like these colored areas, like the one you're standing next to, these go up as they go in,
Okay.
just for like sight. So like you right now cannot see the Manticore.
Oh, okay.
The only person who's in visual range of the Manticore, I think, is now Parcel, and just barely. Yeah,
Okay.
because you can't see it at all. It's over there. It's past this thing. You can climb up that thing though. It's just difficult terrain to climb up the side of it.
Ooh, I mean, like, I feel like perhaps the best strategy is for us to like prepare and wait for it to come to us. I mean, like, getting aggressive on something that can like fly and shoot quills doesn't seem like a super great plan. Is that
Mhm.
Does that sound right?
Alternately,
Party?
alpha strike it as hard as you can.
I can't do anything when it's more than 30 feet away. So like whatever.
Right. So I mean, like, instead of going to it, why don't we just I guess wait?
I mean, it could just sit
Can we
there and
prepare?
shoot quills at us for as long as it wants, right?
I mean, it'll run out of Parsley. You know this. It'll run out of quills eventually. It doesn't have an infinite supply of
Yeah,
quills.
just like the ones last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tactic for just having someone tag quills seems really awesome until it happens, and then it's really bad. Just hit by a bunch of quills, it turns out. Previous experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the idea, but it's got the ranged attack, right, which makes it then takes back the initiative sort of deal. It can just
Sure.
wherever we are.
Gracious. All right. Well, then in that case, let me figure out how I think is it called spectral weapon?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see. So it's spiritual weapon.
Okay.
It's a weapon made of pure magical force. Attacks. It says attacks foes you designate within range. It has a range of 120 feet.
Yeah. You conjure it, and then it fights. For
And
you.
then it shows up over there and does some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I want to go ahead and do that.
Okay. So you can remember this. You're basically facing like a wall, so you can't.
So I need to like.
Yeah,
climb
you got to
up.
move first or climb up high enough that you can see over it. So it's
Oh,
got.
gracious.
I'll draw kind of the ridge. So this is like the summit, and then it's got like a ridge there. So any of those squares, you'd kind of be at the top.
Okay. So and this is difficult terrain. So
Yeah.
is how much does it take to get here?
How many squares was that?
3.
And was it diagonally up 3?
No, that's 3 without diagonals. So it could be 1 diagonal and then 1 square.
Okay. So 10, 20. That's 20 feet to get to right there.
Okay. Do I have a spell left, or can I cast a spell?
You've got 2 actions. So yeah.
2 actions. Okay. So I actually want to start by casting Sanctuary.
Okay. Nice. What does Sanctuary do?
It is. Hold on a second. Basically, it makes it harder to target me. There we go.
Oh, here it is,
Creatures
yeah.
attempting to attack the target must attempt a will save each time, with outcomes depending on their saves. If a target acts in a hostile never mind, because I'm gonna attack it.
Yeah, Sanctuary is what you cast on yourself when you're running around healing people.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So, but could I, if I cast the spectral, or if I cast my spiritual weapon first and then cast Sanctuary and don't take more actions towards it, does the Sanctuary still apply?
It'll apply until your next turn when you use the weapon to hit it, because I think the spiritual weapon attacking it is on your order, so it counts as a progressive action for you. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Right. You can't be like, I conjure the spiritual weapon. I'm not attacking you. The
Go
weapon
do some
is.
stuff.
The weapon's
Yeah.
attacking you. It's not me. It's a weapon. I can't help it when it's like this.
That was
I
when you put it
can't
that
help
way.
it when it's like this.
Yeah, it's not my fault. It's the weapon, the spiritual weapon. It's going at you. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, yeah, I'll go up and I'll cast spiritual weapon.
Okay. All right. What did you say your spiritual weapon was? What kind of weapon? Was it?
It is. I am with Pharasma, so I believe it's a dagger.
Dagger. Okay.
It is. Yep.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can find. Let's see. I got spikes. I got smoke. I got fire. I have a saw blade. I'm trying to find like a really cute dagger for you, but I think these are all traps. Pistons. I got a net, some darts, and an axe. Okay, so no dagger. These are all like trap icons. Okay, let me find something for you here. And where do you wanna put it?
I think, let's see, it's going to be coming from the direction. The gust of wind is going to be pushing it this way. It's going to try to get away from it. Maybe if we put it here,
Okay, that's fine.
because then that way it has the chance to like move and react to.
Yeah, because you can move it around on your turn as part of
Because
it.
it's obviously going to come towards the gust of wind to try and get at us.
Okay.
And I can't just anticipate that it'll just fly into my dagger, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
chances are pretty good. Like it can see the dagger. So
Okay. Cool.
all right. So there's you wanted it there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you conjure up a magic dagger. Okay. Lydia, do you know it's time to live up to your name?
I feel like you know what I'm gonna do, which is move to a position where I can shoot and then shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So that position looks to be there, I think.
Yeah, it'll have some cover because you're shooting through.
That's fine. I don't care. I hunt target it, so actually it has no cover.
Oh, perfect. Then I don't have to look up how
I
cover works.
think. I will check though,
Okay.
just because it's been a while. Hang on.
Yeah, totally.
Hunt target.
So it's one action to stride.
You designate the creature, ignoring the penalty for making ranged attacks against the creature hunting within your second range increment. You get +2 circumstance bonus. So it does get cover, but I also get I can shoot it at any range increment of my weapon. So never mind the cover bit.
Got it. Okay, I'll check that out. So it's a line of sight.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna give it the old crossbow maneuver.
Okay, hang on. Let me
Because
figure
my
out.
crossbow does not take an action to draw because I have quick draw.
Yeah, you're drawing it as you dash up.
Yeah,
Let me
and
find
then
the thing
I shoot
about-
it in preferably in the head. We'll see.
In its old man's head and face.
No, I missed really bad.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna bother finding the cover. So you fire up at it, and it's a combination of this like magic wind tunnel and your inability to hit it,
And
you.
then I will take my last action to reload.
Okay, great. So the Manticore is not prone, but is farther away than he had hoped to be to start this fight. So he's got a flying speed of 40 feet. So he's gonna kick off, and he's gonna go like up here. Let me just check. I think a little further back. Okay, so he flies back this way, and he jumps up off the wall, snarling, and flaps his wings, flies over this way, and then that's one action. He's gonna do a spike volley, so he can shoot two spikes at anyone who's within a certain distance of each other. So he'll fire one at Parzel and one at Lydia. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So for the stat block of this guy, the spike volley, you actually get two choices. He flings two spikes from his tail. One spike at each target is just you get two attacks. Or if he's only targeting one person, the first one you roll one, the first one deals damage, and the second one pins the target in place. Isn't that cool? So you get to choose like.
Are these like huge then?
They're pretty big. Like he's a large creature, right? So they're like forearm length spikes.
I really want to make this punch.
Okay, so he's gonna roll, but this will be two. One against Parzel and one against Lydia. So Parzel, here's one for you. It's a plus 12 to hit, I think. Yep. Okay. And here's the first one. So this is for Lydia. So it's a hit. I think that might be a crit on you.
Is that one for me or?
That's for for Parzel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So.
Well, hold on. No, my AC's 18 actually.
Yeah, so I got 10 more than your AC. I got 29.
Oh, that's how it works. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you're good.
Okay. You take 18 damage.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So one of the Manticore spikes stabs into you. And then Lydia, your AC is 17?
18, I think. But I think it could be. It's 17.
17? Okay. Much narrower margin of victory on that one. So you're going to take 1d10 plus 5. Okay, so you only take 6 damage.
Cool.
All right. So I'm going to just pop onto my GM layer here, and I'm going to make a note of how many of these spikes I'm firing.
A rude ass Manticore.
So, another interesting interaction rules-wise between his spiked volley and the taking actions. I could spike volley again, but my chances to hit are much lower, but I'm still using up spikes. So I have to make that choice of whether I think I could hit again with the volley. or not. I think he will. I think he'll just move. I'll take another move action, and we'll go over there. So he flies in an arc around his prey, flinging spikes at you. Plunderfist, what would you like to do?
With me on this one.
Okay.
How high in the air?
How high in the air? From you, like about 40 feet. But I'm gonna move him. I'm gonna draw something for you. So the little like summit, the thing that I just showed for the other one, the summit for this guy is like kind of here,
right?
And he's only like 10 feet up from there.
Okay.
What layer did I draw that on?
God, how high do I high jump again? Leap. Up to 3 feet vertically, and then I've got powerful leap. Okay, it doesn't increase it by 5 feet. It makes it up to 5 feet. But if I jump 5 feet, I'm within 5 feet of him, so I can punch him.
Yes, yeah, you could jump up in the air and swipe at him in the air and then fall back down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I've got 30 movement. This is difficult terrain.
Yeah, so you can get exactly to there.
I get exactly to there. I take a standing leap 5 feet up into the air, and then I punch him.
You're literally Shoryukening this dude.
Yes.
Perfect.
If this isn't a crit, then there is no justice.
Okay.
No, I just missed.
And you swipe at the empty ground. I accidentally put you on the map layer. I'm sorry, little man. There you go. Well, it was a valiant attempt at a Hadouken, at the aerial Falcon Punch. You leap up in the air, spin around, I don't know, fire emerges from your fist, and you land. The Manticore looks at you like, what the hell? Where'd you come from? And like hisses at you angrily, but his voice comes out like a trumpet, so it's just like, boo, 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 boo. Parzel, it is your turn.
Yeah. So the terrain around here,
Yeah.
is there any...
Oh, sorry, before you take your turn, it's the beginning of your turn. Did you want to use your ability?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
So it triggers it triggers the
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So you trigger that recovery
It's a
ability.
free action.
Yep.
My staff, like it normally has a red stone and it shifts to be like blue for a moment.
Cool.
As it gets charged up with gust of wind.
Reminds me of the eyes of a robot man I once knew.
And then I'm looking around.
Mm-hmm.
The whole terrain area here, like with how low down the Manticore is versus anything, where would I need to be directing my gust of wind to do maximum damage, you know?
So if you need to draw a straight line from you to the Manticore,
Yeah.
that puts the Manticore on one of these lowland areas. Then you'd fall 40 feet. So like, yeah, if you cast it from here,
So if I move,
the
over
problem
here,
is if you cast it there, you're also going to hit Lydia with it. Lydia will go flying up the hill.
Oh no!
So I guess you could hold your turn until after Lydia and then go.
Well, okay.
Or
Lydia.
just do what you will. I am not concerned.
No. But
what's funny
you
about this? Hang on, let me just draw this shape here. So
Yeah.
like the terrain is shaped like this, right? It kind of arcs up that way. And the Manticore is up here, and Lydia's down here. And if you blast a gust of wind like this, like straight up, the Manticore will go up and fall down, and Lydia will be blasted against the wall and just slide up the hill. Which is like, hey, free movement, I guess, but...
Oh my gosh. No, it's perfect because you get to go
before the manticore goes.
Yeah.
So I'll
Now, if you
hold
really wanted to be heroic about this, you would intentionally blast Lydia straight up in the air so she could fly up and do like a spinning backflip, shooting the manticore at point blank range. However, then she'd fall.
This is fine. This is fine.
It feels like we are not coordinated enough to pull that one off.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fastball special you may not be ready for. Well, so how about this? It's your turn. We're at the top of initiative order. Why don't we put a pin in there? We'll cliffhanger the rest of the aerial battle for next episode. And yeah, as folks are pointing out in chat, it's pretty cool because this adventure is explicitly designed to test out a bunch of different terrain and mechanical stuff. So doing shit like running up a cliff and doing a jump punch to try to hit this manticore is exactly on par with what the adventure is meant to test. So we're doing it correctly, including gust of winding your friend up the side of a cliff as if she were being blasted by a fire hose. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next time when we come face to adorable face with this terrifying manticore. In the meantime, you can find all of these people doing stuff on the internet. I will let them tell you where you can find them. Let's start with Distracted Elf.
Hello, everyone. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me on Twitter at Distracted Elf or on Twitch at also Distracted Elf. My review of this episode: not enough quicksand.
5 out of 7, not enough quicksand.
Yeah, like a 0 out of 10 would not quicksand again.
Excellent. Good. Yeah, mountains don't often have those sorts of things. That's true. I hear you. Cool. Down below Elf, it's Josh playing Bird, who Bird got to do the thing. You got to do your thing today. You got to de-escalate a situation. You made some Knoll friends.
Trying to do since Juma on day one.
That's right. That's right. You de-escalated and made friends with those guys. So good job.
Yeah, we got new friends. Started probably the birth of Knoll civilization. But yeah, I'm Josh. You can find me at Twitter. I'm Wallstormer. I also run a site called Intelligame. It's a game culture criticism site. You can find us at intelligame.us. I'll be streaming over there tonight, doing some Super Smash Brothers, actually, a little casual hangout stream at 6 p.m. at Intelligame, twitch.tv/IntelligameUs.
Nice. Excellent. Cool. Over here in the bottom corner, it's Dave. Dave, where can people find you on the internet?
Hello. They can find me at Dave_the_human on Twitter. Am I doing anything special? No. Come back and watch the other game that I do on the internet, though. On the D&D channel to play Dragon Heist. Where I haven't gotten to jump into the air and punch anyone for ages.
Or ever, really. I feel like that character is a lot more about falling than about flying. So it's cool. You get both.
But
both
Dave,
gravities.
Dungeon of the Mad Mage, you'll have so much stuff to kill.
It'll be mostly killing.
I do love killing.
Yeah. So yeah, as Dave pointed out, yeah, twitch.tv/D&D tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific. We're continuing our ongoing game of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. But in the meantime, last but not least, Parzel, I'm so excited. I prepped for the dungeon, and if you are looking for like silly things to put in a dungeon to become a Space Elf dungeon master, she's gonna enjoy the hell out of the next part of the adventure.
So excited! That's gonna be great. I mean, this part is great too. I have 2 reviews of this one. Like one, getting to actually cast Gust of Wind and have it do something, that's rocked. And 2, in the same vein of not enough quicksand, kind of a shame that we didn't explore the full depth of drowning rules.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I will try to drown you in the next session. Okay?
Great, thank you.
I'll
You
remember.
don't have to do that. I feel like
no, we should.
I feel like perhaps that's not a good thing. We should probably avoid that.
Why not
though. I'm Cat Cool, and you can find me on Twitter at cat_cool_ with cool spelled like my last name, KUHL. You can also listen to my podcast, Autonomic, which you can most easily find on any podcatcher or on its website, autonomicpodcast.com, with autonomic spelled like the nervous system. Also, for just the next few days, if you're interested in some of my game design, I have been added as like a stretch goal style backer on a cool Kickstarter project called Flip Tales, which is a family friendly game that I think is really jazzy. The thing I'm most excited about with it is that I think it's gonna get my parents to finally understand role playing, which is like
Nice.
that's been a battle.
Nice.
I make these things and they just don't.
Listen, my parents, they watched Mazes and Monsters in 1989 or whenever it came out. They understand role playing completely. All right. They
Oh,
know
great.
that when I'm like, yeah, Mom, my job is that I play role playing games for a living, she hears I live in a steam tunnel. So, yeah, cool. That's
Don't
exciting.
you live in a steam tunnel?
Just
though?
stop giving away my secrets.
I didn't say which steam tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, we do your shout out.
Well, thanks for coming, everybody. You can catch all of the other stuff that we do down there. There's a link to the YouTube channel, and it has back episodes, other different shows. There's all kinds of good stuff going on in Roll20 Presents land these days. The next most thing being tomorrow's episode of Dragon Heist, which I hope you'll come back for. And if you want to see, check out the YouTube video. YouTube videos this weekend, because I did prep for the next session of the adventure. So if you missed that, you're going to get a little bit of a sneak peek, and you'll get to see me pick a bunch more adorable tokens, which I would like to because they're in chat. Thanks, Yuikami. All of the tokens that I'm using, aside from Mr. Snips, those adorable little anime-looking tokens have come from Yuikami. You can find that work on the Roll20 Marketplace, and you can find us right here next time. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you later. Bye.